So if you're on the pre-med or pre-PA path, you know the deal. The competition is absolutely insane. In this explainer, we're going to break down a really powerful and honestly, a surprisingly affordable way to launch your healthcare career. More importantly, we're talking about how to build an application that admissions committees just can't ignore. It really all starts here, in what feels like a total arms race. You've got thousands of brilliant, high-achieving students all fighting for just a handful of spots in med school, PA programs, and nursing schools. I mean, everyone has great grades. Everyone is grinding for the big entrance exams. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? When an admissions officer is staring at their thousandth application for the day, what is going to make them stop, lean in a little closer, and actually take notice of yours? Well, the answer might not be what you think. Look, your grades and your test scores, they get your foot in the door. But this right here is the real game changer. Just look at the difference. A generic letter saying you were a pleasure to have is fine. It's forgettable. But a powerful, detailed letter calling you an invaluable team member who showed real compassion, that doesn't just get you noticed. It moves your application from the maybe pile straight to the must-interview pile. But here's the rub. Getting the kind of deep experience that actually earns you a letter like that, well, it presents this huge, incredibly frustrating hurdle for most applicants. It's a problem so common, it really deserves its own name. And there it is, the clinical catch-22. You know this one. It's that classic chicken and egg problem. Admissions committees want to see meaningful, hands-on work with patients. But the jobs that give you that experience, they require you to already have that experience. It can seriously feel like you're stuck before you've even had a chance to start. And this really shows you what that cycle feels like. You need great experience, which means you need a certification. But getting certified can be a huge barrier, in time, in money, to getting that initial experience. It's just this frustrating loop that keeps so many talented people sitting on the sidelines. So how do you break out of it? You find a strategic shortcut, a direct path that lets you just bypass that whole catch-22 and puts you right where you need to be, in the heart of patient care. And while there are a few ways to do it, one of the most direct and accessible routes right now is becoming a certified clinical medical assistant. So it's super important to understand what a CCMA really is. We are not talking about just shadowing someone and taking notes. No, this is a nationally recognized credential that makes you an active, contributing, and get this, a paid member of the clinical team. You're literally working shoulder to shoulder with doctors and patients, which is why it is such an ideal launchpad. Okay, let's just break this down side by side because the difference is huge. As a medical assistant, you're an active participant. You're not just a passive observer standing in the corner. You're also getting paid, which, let's be real, is critical. And maybe the most important piece of all, this experience typically counts as patient care experience, or PCE, which is a non-negotiable for a lot of PA schools. This is the stuff that builds the foundation for that incredible letter of recommendation. All right, so you're on board with the what. Now let's talk about the how. The really great news is that the old barriers to getting certified, sky-high costs and rigid class schedules, they're being completely disrupted by these modern, flexible online programs. And the path to getting that certification is actually pretty straightforward. It's really just a 4-step process that can easily fit into a busy student's life. You get certified through an online program, you master the core skills, you get that vital hands-on experience in an externship, and then boom, you're ready to ace the national exam. First things first, let's talk about the payoff. This isn't just some unpaid internship, it's a real in-demand job. Once you're certified, you can expect a starting salary somewhere in the $40,000 to $50,000 range. That means you are earning a solid income while you're getting the priceless clinical experience you need for your future application. Now, compare that $40,000 plus salary to the initial investment. In the past, getting certified could be really expensive, but these modern accredited online programs have totally changed the game. The one we looked at in our sources has an all-inclusive tuition of just $900. That one payment covers everything, your books, your materials, even the fee for the national exam itself. The return on that investment is, well, it's pretty much immediate and massive. But I know what you're thinking. Does an affordable price tag mean lower quality? Well, the data says absolutely not. That same sub-$1,000 program has a 96% pass rate on the national NHA certification exam. That is a huge indicator that these modern programs aren't just accessible, they are incredibly effective at setting you up for success. So if you're out there looking at different options, Just use this checklist. Number 1, make sure the program is accredited by a recognized body like the NHA. 2, demand all-inclusive transparent pricing so you don't get hit with hidden fees. 3, look for self-paced flexibility that actually fits your life. And finally, and this one is crucial, make sure they offer career and externship support to help you get that real-world experience. Okay, let's shift gears. You've done the work, you passed your exam, and you've earned that CCMA certificate. Awesome. Now, how do you turn that piece of paper into a paycheck and start logging those crucial patient care hours? It all starts with your resume. You've got to put that CCMA credential right up top, make it impossible to miss. But the real key is to heavily feature your externship and any other patient-facing experience you have. Clinic managers are looking for one thing. They want to know you can hit the ground running and won't need a ton of training on the basics. So where should you be looking? Honestly, the demand for MAs is exploding everywhere, but you should really focus your search on these top 3 areas. Big hospital systems are always hiring. Urgent care centers are popping up on every corner, and they rely heavily on MAs. And of course, don't forget about traditional private doctors' offices. Now, when you land that interview, be ready for behavioral questions just like this one. They're not just testing what you know from a textbook. They want to see your empathy. They're testing your communication skills and your real ability to reassure and comfort a patient who is scared. And they're definitely going to test your judgment under pressure. A question like this is designed to see how you think on your feet, how you prioritize tasks, and how you communicate when 2 urgent things demand your attention at the exact same time. There isn't one perfect right answer. They just want to see your thought process. All right, let's bring this all the way back to our original goal. This entire pathway, getting certified, landing that job, gaining all that experience, it's all about one thing: building the ultimate launchpad for your future healthcare career. And this brings us right back to the single most important takeaway. Remember that game-changing letter of recommendation we talked about at the beginning? It doesn't come from just watching. As it says right here, it isn't given, it is earned. And it's earned by being a truly invaluable member of a clinical team, which only happens through direct, hands-on patient care. So we'll leave you with this final thought. As these affordable, fast, and fully accredited pathways become more and more common, it really makes you question the old way of doing things. I mean, when you can become a competent, certified, and job-ready clinical professional for under $1,000, it challenges the entire system, and it really opens the door for a whole new generation of healthcare leaders.